Dr. Patterson thinks I need to journal my feelings. She says it'll help with my anxiety. What she doesn't get is that I don't have anxiety. I have a life that requires perfect execution. There's a difference. But here I am, first day back at Riverside Prep, and nothing's changed. Same halls, same people worshipping at the altar of me and my friends. Same boys thinking they have a shot. Same girls wanting to be me. If only they knew. Lunch is always the usual circus. Madison goes on about some guy from St. Augustine's who'd met her, and I have to sit there nodding like I care. Oh my God, he's so hot. You should totally go for it. The script practically writes itself at this point. Cooper tries to sit next to me. I tell him his cologne smells like a Bath and Body Works threw up on him. Everyone laughs. He looks like a kicked puppy, but honestly, if you're going to wear Axe body spray in junior year, you deserve what you get. Mom asks me at dinner if I'm seeing anyone. I say boys at Riverside are all children. She seems satisfied with that answer. Dad just grunts and goes back to his phone. Perfect family. Perfect life. Perfect Blair. AP English is going to kill me this year. Not because it's hard, please, but because Mrs. Chin has decided we're doing partner projects for our entire first semester grade. Partner projects. As in, my grade depends on someone else not screwing up. She's assigning pairs alphabetically by last name. I'm praying I get someone competent. Madison's last name is right, so she's safe. I need someone who won't tank my GPA. When Mrs. Chin posts the pairs the next morning, I scan the list quickly. Blair Ashford and Ash Moreno. You've got to be kidding me. Ash Moreno. The girl who literally hasn't attended a full week of school since freshman year. The one with all those rumors. And honestly, I don't even know which ones are true because I've never paid attention. She's just background noise. The kind of person you step around in the hallway without actually seeing. Except now I have to see her. For an entire semester. On a project worth 40% of my grade. Madison grabs my arm in the hallway. Oh my God, Blair, you got stuck with the freak. Can you ask Mrs. Chin to switch? I want to. I almost do. But then I see Ash across the room, leaning against the wall by the windows, looking at her phone. She glances up at the project board, sees her name next to mine, and I swear to God she smirks. Like this was funny to her. Like she knew exactly what I was thinking. I tell Madison I'll handle it. Because that's what I do. I handle things. First project meeting is Monday after school. Mrs. Chin is making us do it in the library so she can monitor progress. Translation: she doesn't trust anyone to actually work. I see Ash in the hallway the day before our meeting. She's wearing the same ripped jacket she always wears, headphones in, completely in her own world. She doesn't even look at me when she walks past. Cool. Great. This is going to be a nightmare. I text Madison, if my GPA drops because of this, I'm transferring schools. She sends back, just do all the work yourself. It's not like she'll show up anyway. He's probably right. Madison usually is. I get to the library 15 minutes early because of course I do. Set up at our assigned table, pull out my laptop, organize my notes. I have the entire project planned out in my head. I'll assign Ash the easiest parts, do the real work myself, and salvage this disaster. She shows up exactly on time. Not early. Not late. Exactly at 3:15. Sits down across from me without saying hi. Just drops her beat-up backpack on the table and looks at me. So, she says, let me guess. You've already decided you're doing everything yourself because you don't trust me not to screw it up. I blink. It's fine. I get it. You're Blair Ashford. You probably have a color-coded planner and a backup plan for your backup plan. Be rude. But also, not wrong. I was going to suggest we split the work evenly. I lie. She raises an eyebrow. Sure you were. Then she pulls out a notebook, this ratty thing held together with duct tape, and flips it open. Mrs. Chin wants us to analyze the evolution of the unreliable narrator in contemporary fiction. I'm thinking we focus on 3 novels, Gone Girl, The Girl on the Train, and We Were Liars. Different approaches to unreliability, different reader impacts. I just stare at her. Because that was exactly what I was going to propose. Like word for word almost. You've actually read those? I ask before I can stop myself. He gives me this look. Flat. Unimpressed. Yeah, Blair. Poor people can read. My face gets hot. That's not what I... Relax. I know what you meant. She taps her pen against the notebook. So are we doing this, or are you going to spend the next hour figuring out how to ask Mrs. Chen for a new partner? I should be insulted. I should report her for being difficult. Instead, I hear myself say, fine. Those 3 books work. But we're outlining the entire project today. I don't do last-minute anything. Shocking, she says. But she's almost smiling when she says it. We work for 2 hours. He has ideas, good ideas. She argues with me about thematic interpretations, pushes back when I try to oversimplify things, makes me actually think instead of just regurgitating what would get me an A. When we pack up, she says, same time Wednesday? Yeah, I say. And Ash? Actually show up. Right back at you, princess. She leaves before I can respond. Later that night, lying in bed, I can't stop thinking about that smirk. The way she looked at me like she could see right through every single carefully constructed layer. No one looks at me like that. No one's supposed to look at me like that. This is going to be a long semester. Madison corners me at my locker the next morning. So, how bad was it? I shrug. Fine. She actually showed up. Wait, seriously? Madison's eyes go wide like I just told her aliens landed on the football field. Ash Moreno actually came to your project meeting? Yeah. And she had ideas for the project. Ideas. Madison laughs. Blair, come on. She probably just copied something off Spark Notes. I want to defend Ash. Which is insane because why would I defend someone I barely know? Someone who's literally just my project partner by unfortunate alphabet assignment? So instead I say, whatever. As long as she doesn't tank my grade, I don't care. Madison seems satisfied with that. Links her arm through mine as we walk to first period, already moving on to drama about someone's Instagram story. But I keep thinking about what she said. About the rumors. I realize I don't actually know any facts about Ash. Just whispers. She got expelled from her last school. She's in a gang. Her family's a mess. She hooked up with a teacher. Which ones are even real? And why do I suddenly care? I see Ash in the hallway between third and fourth period the next day. She's sitting on the floor outside the art room, sketchbook in her lap, completely absorbed in whatever she's drawing. People walk past her like she's invisible. I slow down as I get closer, trying to see what she's working on without being obvious about it. She looks up, catches me staring. Need something, princess? There's that nickname again. The way she says it, it's not mean exactly. It's teasing, maybe. Just wondering if you're planning to show up tomorrow, I say, trying to sound casual. Wouldn't miss it. She goes back to her drawing. Conversation over, apparently. I stand there for another second, feeling stupid, then walk away. Cooper falls into step beside me. Was that Ash Moreno you were talking to? Project partner, I say shortly. Dude, I heard she. I don't care what you heard. He looks startled. I never snap at Cooper. I'm usually just dismissively mean in a way that makes everyone laugh. Hey geez. Sorry. I feel bad for half a second. Then remember the Axe body spray incident and decide we're even. She shows up early to our next meeting. I get there at 3 o'clock and she's already at our table reading. Actual book, not her phone. The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. Didn't peg you for a Plath fan, I say, setting my stuff down. Didn't peg you for someone who makes assumptions, she shoots back without looking up. Touché. We dive into the project. She's actually outlined her sections, detailed notes, quotes already pulled, citations formatted correctly. This isn't someone coasting or planning to dump everything on me. This is someone who actually gives a damn. You're not what I expected, I say before I can filter myself. She finally looks up from her laptop. Yeah. What did you expect? I don't know. Someone who didn't care. About school. She leans back in her chair. I care about school. I just don't care about the social performance art you all do in the hallways. Social performance art? Yeah. The whole thing. Pretending to like people you hate. Laughing at jokes that aren't funny. Performing your life for an audience that doesn't actually matter. She shrugs. Exhausting. I feel something twist in my chest. Because she's right. That's exhausting. So why don't you participate? I ask. Because I'd rather be tired from doing things I actually care about than tired from pretending to be someone I'm not. The way she says it. So simple. Like it's the most obvious thing in the world. I want to ask what she cares about. What she does when she's not here. Why everyone has so many stories about her but I've never actually seen her do anything wrong. Instead I say, we should divide the analysis sections. I'll take Gone Girl, you take the girl on the train. Sure. He goes back to typing. But I catch her glancing at me a few times while we work. Like maybe she's trying to figure me out too. Group lunch is unbearable the next day. Everyone's talking about homecoming. Dresses, dates, after parties. Madison keeps asking if I'm going to say yes to Cooper when he asks me. He's definitely going to ask you, she says. He's been obsessed since sophomore year. Cooper smells like a gym locker, I say. Everyone laughs. Crisis averted. But then Sienna goes, well, if you're not into Cooper, what about Marcus? Or James? What about that guy from the lacrosse team who keeps liking your posts? And they all start listing boys like I'm shopping for a prom dress instead of a human being. I want to scream. Instead I say I'm not interested in dating anyone right now. I'm focused on my GPA. Madison pats my hand. That's so smart. Boys are just a distraction anyway. If only she knew what the real distraction was. Something weird happens after our next library session. I'm leaving. Ash had already left a few minutes earlier, and I find her sitting outside on the steps. Just sitting there. Staring at her phone with this tight expression. You okay? I ask. She looks up, seems surprised I'm talking to her. Yeah. Fine. You don't look fine. Wow, harsh. I didn't mean. I sit down next to her. I don't know why. I meant you look upset. She's quiet for a long moment. Then, my mom was supposed to pick me up. She's not answering. Oh. I check my phone. I can give you a ride. My driver's coming in like 10 minutes. She laughs. Actually laughs. Of course you have a driver. It's not. I stop. Because what am I going to say? It's not a big deal. It's a big deal. I have a driver because my family has money. Her mom not showing up is probably because she has to work late or doesn't have reliable transportation or any number of things I've never had to think about. Thanks, Ash says. But I'm good. Bus comes in 20. The bus takes forever. Just let me give you a ride. Why do you care? Good question. Why do I care? Because we're project partners, I say. And if you get murdered waiting for the bus, I'll have to do this entire thing alone. She smiles. Actual smile, not a smirk. Practical. I'm nothing if not practical. Fine. But I'm not making small talk with your driver. He doesn't talk anyway. The car ride is quiet. Ash gives an address on the east side, the part of town I never go to. Older houses, chain-link fences, bars on windows. When we pull up to her place, she grabs her bag. Thanks. See you Monday. Yeah. She pauses with her hand on the door. And Blair? You're not what I expected either. She's gone before I can ask what she means. That night I can't stop thinking about her smile. The real one. Not the smirk, not the sarcasm. The actual smile when I said she might get murdered. God, what is wrong with me? This is a school project. That's all this is. So why do I keep replaying every conversation in my head? Why did I notice that she has a small scar above her left eyebrow? Why do I care that her mom didn't show up? Dr. Patterson says journaling helps with anxiety. Pretty sure she didn't mean this kind of anxiety. Monday comes and I'm weirdly nervous about seeing Ash again. Which is stupid. We're just working on a project. That's it. But I spend an extra 15 minutes on my makeup that morning, and I change my outfit 3 times before settling on jeans and a sweater that Madison once said made my eyes look ridiculously blue. Not that it matters what Ash thinks. It doesn't matter. She's already at our table when I arrive at the library. This time she's early 3:10 instead of 3:15. Hey, I say, sliding into my seat. Hey. She closes whatever she was reading on her phone. So I finish the girl on the train analysis. Want to see? We fall into our rhythm, reading each other's work, debating interpretations, building the project piece by piece. But something's different today. The air feels charged somehow, like we're both hyper-aware of each other. I notice things I shouldn't notice. The way she tucks her hair behind her ear when she's concentrating. How her knee bounces under the table when she's thinking. The silver ring on her thumb that she twists when she's about to disagree with me. You're staring, she says without looking up from her laptop. My face heats. No, I'm not. You definitely are. Now she looks at me, one eyebrow raised. Something on my face? I was just thinking. Dangerous activity. Shut up. But I'm smiling. She smiles back. So what were you thinking about? The truth? I was thinking about how her eyes aren't just brown, they're like amber in the light from the window. With these little flecks of gold. What I say is, I was thinking we should probably start on the conclusion section soon. Liar. My heart does this stupid flip thing. Excuse me. You're a terrible liar, Blair. Your face gives you away every time. She leans back in her chair, studying me. You were thinking about something else. And you're suddenly a mind reader? Don't have to be. You get this look when you're not being honest. Your left eye twitches a little. It does not. It absolutely does. I want to argue, but I'm too caught up in the fact that she's been paying attention to me. Close enough attention to notice something as small as an eye twitch. Fine, I say. I was thinking about how I don't actually know anything about you. What do you want to know? Everything, I think. But that's way too honest. I don't know. Normal stuff. What do you do when you're not here? Why does everyone have a million rumors about you? What's with the sketchbook you always carry around? She's quiet for a moment, like she's deciding how much to tell me. I draw, she finally says. That's mostly what I do. And the rumors are because people need explanations for why someone would choose to be alone. It's easier to make up stories than to accept that maybe I just don't want to be part of their world. Can I see? I gesture to her bag where I know the sketchbook is. See what? Your drawings. She looks genuinely surprised. Why? Because you're always working on them. They must be important to you. Another long pause. Then she reaches into her bag and pulls out the duct-taped notebook. Slides it across the table to me. Don't be weird about it, she says. I open it carefully like it might disintegrate in my hands. The first page takes my breath away. It's a portrait of an old woman, rendered in charcoal with so much detail I can practically see her breathing. Every wrinkle, every strand of gray hair, the sadness in her eyes, it's all there. I flip through slowly. More portraits. Landscapes. Abstract pieces that feel like emotions given form. A sketch of the school hallway that somehow captures the loneliness of it despite being full of people. Ash, I breathe. These are incredible. They're okay. They're not okay. They're... I look up at her. You're really talented. She shifts uncomfortably, like she doesn't know what to do with the compliment. Thanks. Is this what you want to do? Art? Maybe. If I can afford art school. Which I probably can't. He takes the sketchbook back. But yeah. It's the only thing that makes sense to me, you know? Everything else is just noise. I do know. Because that's how I feel about her right now. Like everything else is noise and she's the only clear signal. Which is terrifying. We work for another hour, but the dynamic has shifted. We're not just project partners anymore. We're something else. Something I don't have a name for yet. When we're packing up, Ash says, your turn. My turn for what? To tell me something real. Something not from the Blair Ashford highlight reel. I freeze. Because what can I possibly tell her that wouldn't sound pathetic or privileged or both? I don't know what you mean. See, there's that eye twitch again. She zips up her bag. Come on, princess. Fair's fair. I showed you my stuff. I take a breath. Fine. But I'm exhausted. From what? From being perfect. From being who everyone expects me to be. From... I stop, surprised at my own honesty. From pretending. She doesn't laugh. Doesn't make a sarcastic comment. Just nods like she understands. What are you pretending? She asks quietly. That I like boys. That I'm happy. That I'm not desperately lonely despite being surrounded by people all the time. That I don't think about you constantly. Everything, I whisper. The library is nearly empty now. Mrs. Chin is shelving books in the back, not paying attention to us. Ash reaches across the table and her fingers brush mine. Just for a second. Barely even a touch. But I feel it everywhere. Being real is scary, she says. But pretending is worse. Trust me. Then she pulls her hand back and stands up. Same time Wednesday? Yeah, I manage to say. She leaves and I sit there for another 5 minutes, staring at the spot where her hand was, trying to remember how to breathe normally. That night, Madison FaceTimes me. Okay, so Cooper is definitely asking you to homecoming on Friday. I heard from James who heard from Marcus. You need to figure out what you're going to say. I'm lying on my bed, still thinking about Ash's fingers on mine. I'll tell him no. Blair. You can't say no. Everyone expects you two to go together. I don't care what everyone expects. Madison's quiet for a second. Are you okay? You've been weird lately. I'm fine. Is it the project? Is that Ash girl being a nightmare? No. The word comes out too quick, too defensive. She's actually really smart. And talented. And what? And I can't stop thinking about her. And when she touched my hand, I forgot how to think at all. And I'm pretty sure I'm developing feelings for someone who probably thinks I'm just another shallow rich girl. And nothing. The project is fine. Madison launches into some story about homecoming dresses and I make the appropriate noises, but I'm not really listening. I'm thinking about amber eyes with gold flecks. About duct-taped sketchbooks full of beautiful things. About the way Ash looks at me like she can see past every defense I've built. About how terrifying and exhilarating it is to finally feel something real. Wednesday can't come fast enough.